they have been stripped of their affiliation with WWE because of this, number one, as a training center. And number two, they have told their wrestlers not to talk to the police or anything. So this is very, very serious.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new edition of the Wrestling Time Machine. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and with me each and every week, pro wrestling journalist, Mr. Bill Apter, and WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Taylor. Hey, guys.
Hall player.
Yeah,
hey,
I'm glad to be here. How about you, Teddy?
I am always glad to be alive.
I know, me too.
Amen to that. Okay, speaking about being alive, there is a independent worker right now who's lucky to be alive. Things went off script just recently at an indie event where Raja Jackson, son of Rampage Jackson, he hit Psycho Stu, another independent wrestler, so hard that he damn near killed this guy. The whole thing is that he got in the ring. There's a little bit of a backstory here. They were in the back prior to the show, and Psycho Stu, took a beer can and smashed it against the side of the head of Raja Jackson. Now, some people say that was meant to be, that was a setup. And then they calmed down what appeared to be maybe an actual argument between the two of them in the back before the show, and they thought they got everything calmed down. But during the show, he was told he could get a receipt. So Raja Jackson, at the end of this match where Psycho Stu is in, he jumps Psycho Stu, picks him up over his head, and pulls him down for what is basically a spine buster that he just slammed this guy's head against the mat. He was out cold, I believe. The second he hit that mat, I think he was out cold. Raja Jackson then gets in there, allegedly, or not allegedly, it's on film, and he hits him once. Okay, well, if that's the receipt, that's the receipt. He hit him again and again and again. 23 brutal shots to the head. The guy, Psycho Stu, was choking on his own blood and teeth and almost was dead in the ring had they not stopped what had happened. Teddy, how do we allow untrained talent to get into the ring, not understand the business, and say they thought that a receipt meant he got to go in there and just beat him up?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, there's some people there that know how this works. Okay, there's some people there that know exactly how this works. So I don't understand, why did they let it go so long before the guy hit the guy, you said 23 times. Well, why wouldn't somebody down there way before then? I don't understand. How can they sit back there and watch that? They know it's not a work. They know it's a shoot, and you're going to just let this go on. And then finally, after 23 blows to the head, here you come for the save. I don't get that.
Yeah, the one guy who did save him too, I don't know his name, but I did see a video today where he was saying that they had kind of warned him in the match that, stay around just in case, things go haywire. So he was out there, and then he saw this happening in the ring. And as he did, he said he looked up to the corners of the ring where people were that could have been doing something, who were doing absolutely nothing. He rushed the ring, and he's a professional fighter, so he was able to take him down somewhat to get him to back off. But even Raja, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he took a punch at him too and got him in the eye. I think he got a black eye out of it.
Well, Max Jackson is an MMA fighter. I see that part is very important here, where, when he was going to give the receipt, you got to realize you're talking to a guy that is backstage at a professional wrestling indie show, and this guy was PO'd by what happened backstage, and he went at it for real in the ring. And I'm just like you two, why it wasn't stopped before when they said that he was shooting on this guy for real. It's just something like that should not have happened. And I understand that the promoter, Knox Pro Wrestling out in California, and Rikishi owns the company there, and they have been stripped of their affiliation with WWE because of this. Number one, as a training center. And number two, they have told their wrestlers not to talk to the police or anything. So this is very, very serious. Teddy, do you remember any instances when you refereed or things like this where things went haywire and it didn't go according to what was planned in the back?
Oh, it used to, back in the days, used to happen all the time. In fact, I was in a match with these two guys. They're deceased now, Steve Dr. Dale Williams and Road Warrior Hawk. Oh. And they got into a real fight. And I'll never forget, Steve Williams grabbed me and put me in the corner and he told me, you stay right there. Don't move. And that's exactly what I did. I stayed right there and they just started beating the hell out of each other. And then not only after that, after they stopped in the ring, then they got out of the ring. There was a room that they went into. They both of them went in this room, locked the door, and you could hear them beating the hell out of each other. And then when they finally had enough, they come on out.
That was it. That was the end of it. And, yeah, that's how they did it in the old days. Now, but in this case, though, where Rajah Jackson, which is it, Bill? Is it Rajah or Raha? What is it?
Whichever you want to say.
Okay. Well, whichever one it is, even if he was told he could get a receipt in the ring and he understood this to be a work. At what point do you start beating the guy where your own mind should be saying, I'm killing this guy?
Here's what you got to understand, too. You're dealing with a couple of guys that really hadn't been in our business too long. You know what I mean? They really, I guess I could say a lot of stuff that they don't know. So I think maybe Rajah, whoever he is, he may have took that the wrong way. Somebody might have told him, hey, he's going to give you a receipt. But what he means by that, he's going to hit you and it's not going to be a work. It's going to be a shoot. Yep. So he may have took that the wrong way. You know what I mean? So that's how it is when you get in there. Okay, you want to fight? All right, I'll give him a fight.
But again, the guy's an MMA fighter.
Yeah, but still, he nearly killed him in the ring.
I know he lost his mind in the ring. He went into MMA mode.
You're exactly right, Bill. I certainly go along, and that's how the MMA fighters are. You know what I mean?
But they don't try to kill one another.
Well, I don't know. I've seen some of those fights that have been pretty close now. I'm telling you now. I tell you what you want to do. You want to know if they're for real? That's CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because he took a beating in there, too. I mean, but look here. And I remember everybody giving CM Punk a lot of crap about that, but at least he went and tried. And that's a lot more than most people would do. But exactly. I don't know where this case is right now. I think Psycho Stu is up, and he was in an induced coma originally, but I believe he's actually around and moving a little bit. But they say that his memory is not that clear because he doesn't remember much.
Going on, Chris Jericho and a lot of other wrestlers have donated quite a bit of money to this, and the people on the wrestling end are furious that this would be allowed to happen.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Teddy.
I'm going to say this too. Like we know Rikishi, I think he's the owner of this company.
Yeah.
And I've known Rikishi for many, many years, long time. And I'm just saying, I don't see him putting up with nothing like this. I mean, he wasn't there, because if he had been there, something like this would have never went down. So we just got to let Rikishi handle it, and I'm sure he will take care of it and do the right thing.
Well, I think he was running the show. I don't know if he was there or not. I would assume that he was there.
Bill, but if he was there, I believe this. If he was there, he would not have sit back and let that happen like that.
Well, maybe he couldn't get in there in time for this to happen. I haven't seen the video of this, but
and there is a lot of video too, Bill. I do want to mention this for those of you who we're just talking about a small segment of what has happened, but there is a lot of video out there from the guys who were there, video shot while it happened, while there, from different angles and different points of view. And it looks a lot like maybe Raha was a little bit, somebody kept trying to charge him up before this match took place. They really tried to get him riled up. He has a history of being gaslit, whether it's from his dad or somebody else. He's always felt like people are after him. And I think that they got him so wound up that when he got to the ring, he just let loose. And that's what it looks like.
You're right. And I think one person to say, you're going to take that SH from this guy?
Correct. Correct.
Boom. That's it. I'm going to go out and kick his ass.
Yeah, because, he's got a reputation.
And I believe that too. And I think what he basically was doing is trying to prove a point. He was showing the guys in the back. You know what I mean? But let's go along with talk about this too. If those guys in the back ripped it up, then they're just as guilty as the guy that did this.
Yeah, there was
they
one
know
guy.
better. You know better. And the thing about it, if it had been you, what you have done. So it's really bad. If they did rip this up and cause this to happen, golly, that's pretty low.
There was one individual in one of the videos wearing a cowboy gimmick, and he's the one I think Bill is talking about that said, basically, you're going to take that shit. You need to get your receipt. And I mean, go in there and get you a receipt.
Yeah.
He was egging him on before this happened.
Well,
and,
that's not good.
No.
And the other bad thing about this is, despite the serious injury that took place here, the seriousness of the business that Rikishi runs is now, again, the WWE has taken away their stamp on approving that his school, which, wow, that's
well,
really
they were going to
bad.
be part of that ID program.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now with this incident, that's no longer.
Well, you got to understand, WWE can't, put up with anything like that. No,
You got to be careful because it makes them look bad if they're affiliated with you.
right.
Keep in mind that WWE is part of TKO, shoot fighting.
Very true. Very true.
But only thing about part of it.
Yeah.
That's all part of it.